Mike, we're about 10 games into the Raptors season. They have this new look offense. How's it going?
It's progressing. It's going well, but I mean, I really think people have the wrong idea about this. Everybody thinks it's like change everything, and
this was a huge preseason storyline, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, it all started with Masai Ujiri coming out and saying, "Look, we need to change. What we're doing is not working," and he's right. It wasn't. But I mean, the whole point is they've made this change. They've gone to there's more ball movement.
Right.
They're shooting more threes, but it was all about. Everybody's all sort of, keyed in on DeMar and Kyle. They can't be so ball dominant anymore, and they can't. But there's also what's missed is that at the end of a game in the fourth quarter, they are going to be the ball because you always want the ball in the hands of your best players at the end of a game. So everybody, I can't tell you how many times I've been down there and people are saying, well, do you think Coach, do you think the ball was sticking in the fourth quarter? Well, yeah, it's going to stick. It's going to stick in DeMar's hands and it's going to stick in Kyle's hands because they're the guys who have to either win or lose the game. That's their role. So for 3 quarters, for 3.5 quarters, yeah, you're going to see the ball moving around. But in the end, in crunch time, it's always going to come back to Kyle and DeMar. One of them is going to win the game, or lose the game, whatever, but it's going to be them. And that's not going to change. So I really think this whole thing about, everything, the entire game plan changing, yes, it's changing, but it's not changing to that degree.
So it's changed a bit. Have the Raptors players adjusted well, do you think, in the first 10 games?
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting because we all thought going in it was going to be DeMar was going to have the biggest problem making this adjustment because he's the guy who needs the ball in his hands, or we thought needed the ball in his hands the most. And as it turns out it's actually Kyle who's had the biggest problem, or it's been the biggest adjustment for him. I mean, he's not used to standing off and playing off the ball and not having the ball in his hands. Like he physically needs the ball in his hands to feel comfortable on the basketball court, and that's been the biggest adjustment. So you've seen his numbers fall off. DeMar's numbers have been, they started out kind of slow, but they've come right back. So it's and we're starting to see it with Kyle now. So yeah, there's been progress.
Well, it's hard to rewire yourself, right? Especially these two guys who are elite in this league.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. I mean, these are guys. They've been playing the same way together for 4 or 5 years now, and to all of a sudden say we're changing this, and Casey's very, very aware of that. Coach Casey's very aware of that, and he just says, look, let's give them time. They're professionals, they'll figure it out, but let's also understand that this is a huge change for them and they're going to need this time.
Yep, it's a work in progress with the Raptors. For Mike Ganter and Post Media, I'm John Matisz.